So let's talk a bit about how Tesla's latest earnings report really reflects changes in demand. And how do you believe it justifies its decision to cut production of some models and the official line behind the cut? And one final part of this, what do you think the Musk-led firm is going to focus on instead? Do you like the idea of robotaxis, putting so much focus on that?
Yeah, I think the main point here is really the Model S and the Model X are the premium cars. These were priced at about $100,000 each, and they were only driving 11,000, 12,000 cars per year, where you had 406,000 cars for the 3 and the Y, which was your mass volume piece, and also the basis for where the robotaxis were going to be. So it made sense to see that, but with deliveries down 8.6%, that was a big deal. And so the shift really to robo-taxis, the shift to Optimus bots, I mean, this is really what was put into his compensation plan. And you can see that it's very well aligned as to where he's headed. He wants full self-driving in the 3s and the Y and in the robo-taxis. And of course, he's building out the energy business in the midterm, which has been pretty powerful. If you look at what they've been able to do, they're up 25%, 3.84 billion, especially what's going on, and a 46.7 gigawatt hours in terms of batteries, which is 49% up year over year. So that's the midterm, but the long term is really switching everything to robots, switching everything into autonomous and AI, and the robo-taxis is really where they're hoping to bring the Tesla business back to life.
How close do you think robo-taxis are to actually being out there and working? Because I've heard some people say more than a decade.
Robotaxis are actually here. Waymo has
I understand they're here,
2,500 in San Francisco.
But being profitable, being useful, that kind of thing.
They are. Waymo actually has 2,500 in San Francisco, Los Angeles, and Phoenix. They're doing 450,000 weekly paid rides, 10 million driverless paid miles on Waymo. Tesla only has 135 robo-taxis in service, and they've got a few that are unsupervised. And so there's a huge market there that's actually going untapped. And then the next player is Zoox with 50 in Las Vegas and San Francisco. So this is a market that's emerging for them. And it's actually a pretty smart market because you can buy a robo-taxi, put it into service, and basically what you're doing is you're defraying the capital costs for Elon, and he's basically helping you create a win-win where you put your car into use when you're not using it.
Interesting. Okay, now we have to talk about Elon Musk's foray into the U.S. federal government, his DOGE work, if you will. It was controversial at best, and it took him away from his core businesses, and they suffered. Do you think he has his eye back on the ball? Is he focusing 100% on his company? And how does he fully recover from this, knock off all the stigma that came with that?
A lot of the discussions around his comp plan basically aligned him towards where Tesla's goals should be. And so you see the number of full self-driving vehicles as part of those metrics. You see Optimus robots on that metric list. You also see commitments that are being delivered in terms of where they are for batteries and solar. So there's a really good range of options for him to actually go after to get to his pay package. And you're seeing a lot of emphasis over that. The political stuff definitely was a liability in the long run. It did damage the Tesla brand overall, but it also actually created some opportunities for Tesla in the sense of being able to actually determine where they're going to go be in the EV business and the green business, what the subsidies were going to look like from the US government and other governments. And with all those subsidies going away, at least Tesla was able to maintain 17% margins.
Yeah, let's talk about the global market with the subsidies going away here in the United States. Tesla no longer the most profitable EV company. That now is the Chinese company BYD. What opportunities and challenges do you think BYD is going to face in the coming year, considering they just signed a measure with Mark Carney in Canada as well, now coming into North America?
So the interesting challenge is BYD is going to be up against tariffs around the world. If you look at the European manufacturers, like a BYD car is maybe 1/2 the cost of what a European car is to manufacture as an EV. And so BYD doing 2.25 million battery-powered vehicles in 2025 over Tesla's 1.64 million, that's a huge difference.
Wow.
And what you're seeing is a massive scale on the BYD end to be able to get into new markets, be able to deliver and build in Europe. You're going to continue to see that over time. And so that vertically integrated model that BYD put together, just like Tesla has, is definitely going to change and transform automakers forever. On the Canada side, the challenge is really North American operations are pretty much all in Ontario, Canada. And so a lot of that manufacturing assembly, if the Canadians don't put a tariff on Chinese vehicles, what's going to happen is they're also going to be overrun and not be able to compete in terms of delivering a vehicle profitably.
You know what? Kind of break it down. What does all this mean for global consumers? How do you believe these shifts are going to affect pricing and availability and features moving forward?
The bottom line is the Chinese vehicles keep getting better and better over time. They've been really good at being able to deliver more features for less price. And so around the world, the cost of a vehicle has come down by almost 1/5, 1/4, and then pretty soon 1/2 for a lot of companies. And so you can get a BYD vehicle and a lot of Chinese vehicles in a lot of markets for literally half the cost of everyone else. And what that means is there's more mobility, you can get into EVs more quickly, but the market is vastly commoditized. If you remember back, Sean, sometime Apple was going to be in the car business,
Right, right.
and they quickly realized that this is going to be a race to zero.